Welcome to the Luv-A-Lution show. We are a conscious family radio talk show, speaking truth, love, and freedom for all. Know thyself to love thyself. In this show, we'll be discussing topics such as how to free your mind control, higher conscious level, self-love and self-mastery, natural law, conscious parenting, social engineering, and off-gridding, along with much, much more. And now, the sacred feminine and sacred masculine, dynamic twin flame, Luv-A-Lutionary hosts, Amy and John Paul. Enjoy the show. Yo, welcome, and you're tuned in to the Revolution show on Revolution.radio. How you doing out there? I hope you're loving yourself, knowing thyself to love thyself, freeing your mind control. We are the fearsome foursome family, conscious family. My name's John Paul, my twin flame here. Amy,
you can also call me Spirit.
Yep, we got Angus, Sebastian, bringing up the youth, representing the youth and the truth. And we're excited to be here, folks. Another Tuesday night here on the Mountain of Truth. Thank you to Revolution.radio, freedomslips.com. Having this great platform. We appreciate them and all their hard work. Providing a censor-free platform where we can speak freely of our experiences, our knowledge, and help to raise the frequency, raise the perceptions, and raise the conscious level of all those out there listening. And we're all in this together. Luv-A-Lution. We're here to unite, not divide. We don't see colors, race. We're all in this together. We gotta unite. That's why we're doing this, to unite everyone. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, then we will know a Luv-A-Lution. That's a quote by Sri Chinmoy Chos. That's a tough name. Anyway, but I just kind of put the Luv-A-Lution on the end there. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, that's when we'll know peace on this planet. And that is so true. That's the Luv-A-Lution. We need to have people realize they are love instead of loving to control things, right? That power, greed, more, right? That conditional love. Right, knowing that the elite Satanists, sickos, psychopaths are the owners of this place, and that's why the death cult, right? They are a death cult trying to instill their ideology on all of us, really, with symbolism. They know occulted symbolism. We don't. It's all Saturnism. The symbolisms, we like to expose what is going on with all that, the Saturn moon matrix, what's going on with that, and we get excited about that, how that's controlling the human perceptions, right, keeping us in a 5 sense reality, closing off our pineal like a firewall blocking us to expanded awareness from higher conscious levels, right? Just like the Death Star in Star Wars, the moon is very similar. It's all going on inside. We think it's just this thing reflecting the sun, big reflector up there. No, It's a big hollow spaceship, and they don't want us to know what's going on up there. They got Lunar Operation Command. It's called a space station on the moon. LOC, Lunar Operations Command. And the reptilians have been on there for a long time. But anyway, we're here to talk about love, self-love, self-respect, and we're here to talk about a lot of things. We got Angus. He's 1.5, getting his diaper changed. He's a little upset. That's happened, you know. It's a bit annoying. We're transitioning him to the potty. We're conscious parents, always parenting, and always with our kids 24/7. We don't send them to the state for nothing. Grammy, grandpa, nothing. No babysitters, no way. And so we take full responsibility of our kids. We are creating a school for the kids, for all kids, adult children and real children, teaching morals, teaching all this stuff we're talking about, knowing thyself, to love the earth, to be good stewards here, and leaders, Luv-A-Lutionaries, right? Picking up trash, knowing how to plant a garden, and knowing the trees, birds, and bees over the brands and sports teams and logos. And anyway, yes, we're going to be fundraising this summer to raise money for that school. Kind of a modern mystery school, teaching of the self and reality, how it works, objective morality, occulted laws, natural laws, self-defense, all sorts of things that are actually usable out there in the world and can help you become a strong individual, teach you how to think, not what to think, and expanded awareness, expanded perceptions, not indoctrination, and self-directed learning for the kids. We'll be offering a wide array of activities, canoeing, paddle boarding, going out on the trail hiking, going out in the woods, cleaning up beaches, cleaning up nature, trash pickup days, a lot of fun things. And for the kids, nature's classroom, much more of a nature's classroom type school, always outside, only inside with the inclement weather. And today we're in a cool, foggy day here on the mountain, still burning wood in our wood stove in May. But yeah, one day's summer here, one day's winter still for us here in the upper Northeast. But Cozy, hope you're well wherever you are. We love you, all you listening. We appreciate you. And if you appreciate us and like what you're hearing, help support the station, Revolution.radio. Again, amazing platform. #1 listener-supported radio station in the world, folks. Thanks to your donations and support. So we appreciate that. It doesn't go to us, but it goes to the platform. And the hosts are all volunteers doing it, to share their knowledge because they care, hopefully. And so Luv-A-Lution, we got a website, LUVALUTION.net. We got blogs, videos. We got a shop there, Spreadshirt merch shop. Rep the merch and rep it proud. We got all sorts of stuff. Videos, like I said, blogs, truth speakers and seekers tab, where a lot of inspirational people that have inspired us. We put on there over a bunch of people, and I'm doing amazing work. So thanks to all those people. Luv-A-Lution.net, Luv-A-Lution, and just send us drop us a line. We love to meet new people, open-minded. If you got an open mind, wonderful. We got to free our mind controls. Pull thy head out of thy rear end. I've done it myself, and we all got to do it individually. That's the Luv-A-Lution, the personal Luv-A-Lution. We all have to start and follow through with. That'll lead to the collective Luv-A-Lution and getting out of this mess, right? When we realize we are love, and love will create a world they can't control, like George Orwell said in 1984. All right, love creates that world they can't control, that unity. They can't, put a fence around. They can't put bars around. They can't enslave us around. And we got to choose that nature over the artificial AI. Okay, the robots, they're trying to put them everywhere, folks. And I know they're doing it in third world countries, experimenting with, robotic dogs, police dogs, whatnot. None of it's good. All right? None of it. Robots are not your friends. They're trying to take over and take you out, and along with it as they bring them in. All right? You got to watch the movie Terminator. Rewatch it. An amazing movie, allegorical movie, The Terminator. There's 4 of them or 5, I don't know. But the first one, you check out, a lot of allegories and preemptive programming, the merging of man and machines, and, the resistance, the cyborgs, and all that. So Luv-A-Lution is not merging with machines, because we're so much more than that. They're trying to basically bottle our consciousness, put it in a little tiny vessels, our bodies, and control them. All right. You're all that is, was, and can be. Having a human experience, infinite consciousness, infinite awareness, and awareness of itself. And we got to realize this, folks. It's very late in the game. We got to get our heads pulled out of the rear. We all just went through COVID, one of the biggest tests and psyops in the world, played on the world. And the ultimate failure was to get that needlecraft, the jabs, right? That they call. We don't. We saw right through that. We were whistleblowing about vaccines before, COVID. We were telling people our experience with our child in 2017 is when we started coming out, making videos, sharing. And it was time to regurgitate all the knowledge we had taken in, share our experience with the medical mafia. They don't want you unless you're getting something off of their menu, the jabs, surgery, right? C-sections at birth. They make a fortune off of C-sections. It's about 40 grand, I think, for a C-section. And, the average person can't afford that, but they kind of get you to go down that slippery slope through the epidurals and the other needles. Yes, of course, we need your expertise, love, about how they control that whole process.
Yeah, well, I just had a thought about the C-section. Was the actual practice of stabbing a woman with a knife is similar to how they've done sacrifices and all sorts of stuff for thousands of years. And just that actual action when pulling out a baby is like so satanic.
Right.
Because no matter what, the baby's going to come out. We are forced into this C-section, and usually we're on Pitocin at this point, and our contractions are so fast we can't keep up, and so the C-section is needed. But I just thought about that, and had that thought about the practice of the knife and the slicing and everything like that. And then plus they also take the placenta. When we were in the hospital, they took the placenta without asking us anything about it. And they also cut the cord very early. The cord doesn't have to be cut until it's done pulsing. The baby loses 50% of its blood as it comes out of the birth canal, so it can fit. So the blood goes back into the baby from the placenta when it comes out. So it's very important to keep that cord on as long as possible. Mine was cut within 15 minutes, and they said I had a placenta that was stuck to my uterine wall, and I had to have surgery within a half hour of delivering my son in the hospital. So that opened us up to that information. And then we had our second child at home, free birthed him here at home, and we took Angelica tincture, and it popped my placenta out within like 5 seconds. So Angelica tincture, to all you mommies out there, it helps the placenta come out of the uterus if you're worried about it coming out. You can take Angelica tincture and a couple drops under your tongue, and it worked for me. It was amazing. So that's a little tip. And all your mamas out there, pregnant mommies, molasses is really helpful when you have a baby. You can take a couple spoonfuls, and it gives you that iron that your body loses when you lose some blood. So that's another tip for you to help with that. So I hope you guys are all doing well out there, taking steps towards your Luv-A-Lution, evolution of self-love, and the journey to your heart space. Much love to all life, animals, trees, plants, the earth. So grateful to be here. John Paul and I started the radio show, and we did because we care. We care a lot about people, and we thought, well, how can we share information? And we had listened to the radio on Revolution.radio to a few different hosts, and thought, wow, let's start our own. So if you're thinking about starting a radio show, Revolution Radio is a great opportunity. There's a lot of slots available, and our voices do make a difference. So if you're really thinking about it, I encourage anyone out there to start today. Start now and get your radio show going. Yep. So
yeah, well said. It is important. And it's a great opportunity to have this platform for all those, that have amassed some knowledge about what's going on and knowledge of self, share. We're here to share. We're here to be proud of ourselves, not be too arrogant, but comparing ourselves to ourselves, not to others, right? Comparison is the biggest thief of joy when we compare. So we all fail, we make mistakes, but comparing ourselves with, how far we've come instead of look at what you've done, so being easy on yourself, right? You can fail, make mistakes, but you don't need to live there, right? Get up, keep going. You're a work in progress.
And yeah, that one more point too on that is everyone's here to learn their own lessons. So don't compare yourself with others, because they might be they are on a whole different journey, right? Learning lessons and so forth. So as long as we're all on the same page about morality, then anybody can do whatever they want to do, right? We're not aligned with morality.
That's why we're doing it.
We're very separated as a human race. We do not know morality, so our principles are all whacked. We don't have any principles, and people are...
What are principles, right? What they're first things, what people put first, okay? And what we put first is ourselves, me, all day, every day. And that is the satanic ideology,
And that's what pisses us off.
self-preservation at all costs.
What pisses me off more than anything in this world is the selfishness and the lack of care for the future generations. I wake up in the morning and I get so upset.
Yeah, Satanism could be called selfishism. Mark Passio, thank you for your amazing knowledge, helping out there and helping to clear up a lot of fog from people's perceptions, describing natural laws. He's helped us, taught us a lot. Anyway, it could be called selfishism. He referred to it as that, which made a lot of sense. And Satanism, it's that the number one tenet is self-preservation, all right? And that's their big club. And they do sick, twisted ritual ceremony sacrifices, which the Catholic Mass is like a big watered-down sacrifice. The C-section, another great example of a symbolic sacrifice of the woman.
Yeah, right? We were watching a movie about Haiti, and when they came over and started attacking the Haiti people, and they would cut women, pregnant women, open with knives and murder the woman and the child that way. We were watching a whole movie about it. So this is an ancient tool for sacrifice and torture. Sick.
Yes, it is.
We talk about the ugly truths too, you guys. We're not ignorant anuses with our, New Agers. Yep. Love and light. No, we talk about the sick.
And what they do is they kill people within these rituals. They drink the blood, and that's supposed to give them, energetic, a chemical high, and also, that adrenochrome. They eat the body and they drink the blood, just like in a Catholic Mass. Like I said, drinking the blood and body of Jesus Christ, which they do symbolically during the Catholic 1 hour Mass on Sundays, which is crazy. I had no idea, but I always thought it was weird drinking the blood and body. So anyway, we're here to encourage you not to be under mind control, not to be under mental slavery. That is religion, right? Government is physical slavery. All right. We got to get out of that belief in government. Don't believe in anything. Believe in yourself. Know thyself to love thyself. That's our slogan, motto. It's so poignant and pertinent. We got to really do the inner work, is knowing thyself, and coming out clean on the other side is that going through that tunnel of poop, like in Shawshank Redemption. He escaped prison crawling through the shit pipe.
And then you have like a shield on you. You don't give a shit what anyone thinks of you. You're strong, powerful, bulletproof.
And you come to that realization you are love, and that you are your best friend. You're there for yourself. Mm-hmm. And it's incredible. It's emotional, it's spiritual. It's just a download of all that: emotional, spiritual, physical, alchemical process, changing yourself, your perceptions, going through that dark night of the soul, right? Crying it out. Men, we got to cry. We've been taught not to cry. We got to cry it out. It's good to cry. Our emotions, that energy in motion needs to come out. If it stays in, we get sick. Disease festers, manifests, and we don't need that. Women too, we got to cry. Women are known to cry easier because they're more connected to their emotions and let them out, where men hide them. And so we get those cancers, stomach cancers, whatever, because we're not getting out those anger, emotions, and all sorts. The anger
And I feel like growing up in this
Just one of
society,
them.
babe, even women aren't allowed to cry. Like, as soon as my nasty side came out or my emotions, people didn't want to hear about them.
No, that shows the weakness. No one, and that's messy. No one wants anything to do with that. No, but you got to get a good cry out. Be kind and understanding to those that are crying, and be there. Be there for your friend.
Yeah.
If your friend is crying. But it's so healthy to get out those emotions. You feel amazing after. You feel clean, cleansed, refreshed.
Yes, especially children, you guys. We push children away at school for 9 hours a day. And children are just getting here. They don't know how to regulate their emotions, right? And then we shove them out into society away from any ability to be free in their emotions. And so we just shut them right down. And that's one of the biggest problems we face today, is that we've shut children down from expressing them and being there and validating their emotions.
Yes. And so what happens, one of the big symptoms of kids not being able to express their emotions is wetting the bed. They're peeing the bed. And that's what I did for a long time, because no emotions were allowed in my house. Raised Catholic, real strict Catholic every Sunday, and a big family of all boys, 7 boys. I was the youngest, and the rebel.
You couldn't be emotional.
No, I had all my brothers were like parents. Then I had 2 parents. There was just a lot of abuse, neglect, anyway, and a lot of ignorance. Terrible programs, lies. Anyway, but I had clothes, food, and shelter. But that doesn't mean you're raising a child. You got to consciously raise a child. Just because we give them food, clothes, and a shelter, and some heat, doesn't make us a good parent. All right, we got to spiritually allow our kids to develop on their own, not teaching them religions, indoctrinating them with religions, or you're this country, so you're on this team now, right? Let them develop on their own, their spirituality. Okay, we don't own our kids. We're their guides, their stewards. I was raised authoritarian parenting, very authoritarian, very Catholic. We had, no elbows on the dinner table, 5 push-ups if you had elbows on the table. Real discipline. My dad was in the military, a helicopter pilot in the Marines, and then he became an airline pilot. So he had that very regimented structure with us, with the kids, keep them in line or they'll get out of control. We got to keep them obeying the orders. So we're all like little order followers. My dad was the general. My mom was the colonel. But anyway.
That's funny. Yeah. Stewardess on that plane.
Yeah. Anyway, so that.
No, you make some great points, honey. It's so true. And then I was thinking too about like homeschooling, how we homeschool our children. We do it with passion-led learning, self-led learning. So we don't force our children. And people think there's like a magic window, and if you miss it, your child's never going to read. By this age, he's never going to read, or he's never going to learn. And what we're doing, you guys, it's very similar to when they put the natives in those boarding schools and they whip them and they force them to learn a new language. It's called forced learning. And you're going against a child, forcing them when they're supposed to be in their imagination. They're supposed to be playing, right? A lot more play, because we learn through play, especially when we're very young. And so when you homeschool your child and you're a conscious parent, you really do see the authoritarian approach that we've all been forced through. And you notice that we didn't have any rights as children. we didn't have any rights as little kids. We didn't have any choices, really. Maybe what we wanted to eat or something like that. But we were told where we had to go, what time we had to be there, and we worked like little slaves. Little kids work longer hours than most adults. They're working so hard and they're so tired, and we just really have forced these little children into a little slavery, like just push so much onto them. And I think it's so crazy how we raise these little soldiers. And just thinking about that more and more. We can, Albert Einstein didn't learn how to read till he was 9. Children aren't passionately interested in learning to read until 8, 9, 10, not 5, 6. That is all forced on our children because we have been programmed to believe that if they don't learn by this age, they're going to miss something, or they're going to, never, ever, ever learn. And that's bullshit. It's not true. So open up your mind if you're a parent. Try to see outside the program. Try to step outside of that program.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Be patient with your child. They all learn on their own time. Yeah.
Yes, and realize that the Rockefeller Foundation created and financed, right, all the schools, and they wanted a nation of workers, he said, not a nation of thinkers. He wanted a nation of slaves, not thinkers. Right, schools lower the capacity for analysis and common sense through a program that edits important knowledge and presses an endless series of insignificant facts. Schools encourage the use of legal and non-legal drugs that render children lethargic and dependent. Schools limit the knowledge on new scientific discoveries by teaching about common, concrete technologies. Children can never understand the basic assumptions behind our understanding of reality, nor can they learn about advanced technologies used to control populations. Schools limit the information on the economy, sociology, and philosophy. This way, children cannot learn about the methods used to enslave them. Limited school budgets produce low-quality education and low-quality society. Right? A low-quality student will be a docile slave, easier to control. This brings chaos, insecurity, violence, and crime. Such limited education encourages children to be satisfied with mediocrity. It becomes cool to be stupid, vulgar, and dumb. Schools also, right, replace revolt by guilt by persuading children that they are responsible for their misfortune because they are not intelligent, conscientious, or capable enough. This belief then brings about depression and submission. So you see that the schools dim that Luv-A-Lutionary within us all. They dim that light of revolt within us by guilt of persuading us, right?
And we're happy with just little. We're happy with little. We don't expect much. We accept things now.
You're little, nobody, nothings, and do as you're told, and we'll give you a few carrots. But no, you're all powerful. All that is, was, and can be, right? This is some information from Idessa Gee. We did an interview with on our podcast. Our first interview was with the Idessa Gee, Guy Lenschot, amazing Canadian doctor and author and activist, true speaker, amazing Luv-A-Lutionary. She's written the book Medical Mafia, she's very well known for. in 1995, exposing the medical system. Anyway, those were some teachings of Guy about what schools do to us, right? How it's all about control, okay? He said, Adolf Hitler, this is a quote, once said, "How fortunate for leaders that men do not think," right? We just obey, comply. To ensure a systematic dumbing down of a population, schools had to be invented. Right? What is a school? It is an indoctrination camp for young sheep. Wow. These are shown to venerate the state farm and not to trust in the. These are shown, schools, she says, are shown to venerate the state farm and not to trust independence and true freedom. They learn to stop any behavior that goes against farm productivity. Children do not need to think, they just need to obey.
And that's why the government loves people who obey, because then they tattle on the other people who are actually standing up for truth, freedom, and love. And they say, hey, that guy's a terrorist because he stands up for truth, love, and freedom. Get him out of here, right? They just go along with the program, and they don't need a sheepdog because they don't need a sheep. They're just tattling on people, right? We tattle on each other. So that's not good. Right, great points.
Yes, and also back to that point we're talking about. So, in order for the elite to control the kids, they needed the family to be split. So, what did the Rockefellers? They created and financed the women's liberation, that allowed them to get the children in school at an earlier age to indoctrinate them into accepting the state as their primary family and to destroy the traditional family model. That was why the schools, they're small little indoctrination camps or program prisons, we call them. Right. And so the earlier we get the kids in, they know that those first 7-8 years are so impressionable, so influenceable, that they want your kid during those times so that they can program them for life, and they got slaves for life, right? What else? So this allows that the women's lib movement allowed them to get the children earlier, to indoctrinate them earlier, right, and to destroy the family as soon as they could. And in fact, the purpose of public school is not to educate, but to prepare them to play their role as submissive slaves. All right, that's the whole model, a goal, ultimate goal, end game of schools, right, is to prepare them to accept slavery and be okay with it and give them some peanuts so they're happy.
And then I just wanted to say also, great points. I want to add to that. The private schools, you guys, right? The people that can pay for their children to go to really nice private schools, that creates a hierarchy, the fake hierarchy. Because, right, we have our public schools and then the private. And they learn more in the private about the occult knowledge, hidden information, things like that. So, there you go, honey. I got to get to Angie.
Yes. Well
I just
said.
thought of that, the private versus the public, and how that creates a hierarchy.
Yeah. So at all levels, there's Satanism. Right, you have the pillars of society, politicians, the politics, judges, lawyers, bankers, military, police, media owners, journalists, radio, television hosts, actors, actresses, entertainers, doctors, teachers, college academics, social workers. They have infiltrated all the institutions of perceptual influence and physical control. They work together in common cause for the total enslavement of humanity, while their non-Satanist colleagues have no idea what is going on or why. Okay, that is a David Icke quote. All right, a book from... That's Angus. Hey, Angie. He's feeling excited. So that was a quote from David Icke's book, Everything You Need to Know But Have Never Been Told. Okay? On all levels, I'll read it again. On all levels of Satanism, you have the pillars of society, the politicians, the judges, lawyers, bankers, military personnel, police, media owners, journalists, radio, television hosts, actors, actresses, entertainers, doctors, teachers, college, academics, social workers, scientists. They've all infiltrated the institutions of physical control and working together to get your mind under control. So you'll never wake up to the slave that you are. Right? And governments and their agencies serve these interests of the corporate and banking, right? The merging of state and corporate is fascism. It should be called corporatism, as Mussolini said, all right? The merging of state and corporation, fascism, corporatism, Satanism, it's all the same, right? The same people in the state are the same people in the private corporations at the tops. The Mussolini defined fascism as the fusion of government and corporate power. On that basis alone, Satanism is fascism, right? So we got to know what's going on, folks. That merger of the state and big corporations. All right, they run the state. The corporations are running the state, and don't trust them at all. Okay, knowing thyself, knowing they're all crazy psychopaths. And they're all united by their desire for control and their obsession with materialistic me, right? So they have unity and they have focus, and that's why their plan is working. And they seek in every way to divide and divert the larger population through occulted symbols, right? Through television, media, all your favorite dummies on television are all paid Satanists doing the agenda. They're agents of the system, the Satanistic corporatism.
All the celebrities, the stars.
And they're there to make you jealous and feel like you're nothing, nobody's, because you don't have $1 billion.
Separate us, give us their mind of selfishness and just the desire to have more than others.
They're egoic, low vibration. Very egoic, reptilian mind. Me, screw everyone else. That's that satanic ideology. It's not some guy in a cape with horns and big scary fangs and like they made it out to be in the Christian religion, that satanic Satan, this big horn dude that's really mean and nasty. No, it's an ideology. It's a mind virus of me, separatism, selfishism, right? And that greed. That's what they play off of. It's all Saturn based, right? So Saturn is all controlled by fear, matter, structure, hierarchy, greed. And we got to know these planets are affecting us. Orion and Saturn and the moon are all working together to control human perception. All right? And they're working in unison. Everything's connected. I mean, everything. The planets, the galaxies, and when you don't realize you're interconnected energy, we're all connected. Trees, bees, leaves, kitties, puppies, everybody. Right? We're here to know thyself, evolve in consciousness. That's Luv-A-Lution. Choosing the truth.
Right.
Choosing to want to know what's going on instead of remaining ignorant, unaware, apathetic, lazy, coward.
Yeah, we changed our lifestyle, honey. Did you tell them we changed our diet when we found out we were eating immorally? We changed we changed a lot of things. So keep evolving,
it's about,
you guys.
Yeah, about integrating. Absolutely. Good point, honey. Integrating this information that you are hearing. Integrating new ideas and new things, new foods to put in your body. You don't have to put the traditional foods that we were taught of dead animals, cow, pig, or chicken down our bodies anymore.
You love your pets at home. They're equal to you. You love them, but you still eat animals. You're not connecting the two yet. We're unconscious in our behaviors. And then when you start to become conscious, you realize, wow, everything's connected. I am here to not harm my brothers and sisters.
Even the fish. We can't leave out the fish. We can't be moral relativists and say, I can eat anything but the fish. I can eat, I won't harm the animals, but fish are okay. No, they feel too.
Even more, they feel pain because they're so sensitive.
Yeah, because their senses are on the external, on their skin, and when they're flapping around on the pavement, that hurts so bad for them. That's why they want to get back in the water. So we gotta know. We can't just stop at this animal or that animal and say, I can't stop my behaviors and I'm going to justify this or that. So realize we're all connected. The fish, all right, the birds, the whales, the tiniest plankton, everything. Plant.
We have the thumbs and our fingers are the way they are to pick fruit and vegetables. We don't have canines. Our intestines are 30 feet long. They're not 6 inches long like a carnivore, right? We don't pant. We don't lick our buttholes. We're not carnivores.
No.
We were taught we were, but we were lied to about many things, remember? Including our diet.
Yep, we're cannibals, really. Well, we're not, but I was one. But yes, when we eat our brothers and sisters of the animal kingdom, we're eating their dead flesh. It's the same as if we cut ourselves up. All right, it tastes the same, and we bleed red just like them. We can feel just like them. They don't want to die. They don't want to feel pain just like us. We got to have some empathy for our animal kin. All right, how we treat them is how we're being treated. Okay. Where they burn books, they're going to be burning people, I guess. There's a quote. All right. So we got to raise up our conscious level and be aware of the atrocities going on everywhere. All right. Know that you are love. Know you are life. You're not searching for love.
No one's better than you.
It's within you. You got to go within.
No one's better than you.
Yeah, no one can love you without you loving you. It's impossible. That relationship will never work. You need to start loving yourself first. And it starts with what's going in your body. Knowing that food is a drug. They use it as a drug to lower our vibration. You want dead animal food? That's going to really lower your vibration. So you'll never know who you are. But your higher self doesn't eat a thing, doesn't drink a thing. All right? Food is a drug like heroin. It's not necessary. There's people that have proved this. They've gone 70, 80 years with very little food or water.
They feel great.
They're called breatharian. You can live off the prana, which is energy from the sun and the air. Okay? When you're really sick, what do? You don't eat anything, you fast. That's because your body is healing itself. It doesn't need heavy foods to weigh it down and mess up its function that it's doing while it's healing from an infection or virus or whatever. And so intermittent fasting is so good for you. It supercharges your immune system, your cells. They can actually work properly instead of being weighed down with heavy, dense, chemical-laden processed foods that lower our vibration. These occult Satanists know, they keep us in fear and a low vibration with eating from the graveyard instead of from the garden. All right. What you know is on your plate. And peace starts on your plate. You want to live a peaceful life, or you think you're an enlightened person? If there's a dead animal on your plate, sorry, but you're not enlightened. You don't know shit. We got to think of our animal friends. How would you like someone to do that to you? That's a higher conscious level. How about if the ETs came down and started cutting us up and serving us up like we do the animals?
With their favorite barbecue sauce and some honey ranch.
Would you get running away from them like the deer run from us? Or would you say, yeah, that's okay. They are the highest on the pecking order. I guess I got to, surrender to that. No, you'd run for your life just like the animals do because they know we're barbaric here. We shoot everything and kill everything and then ask questions later. Anyway, I'm going off because I get pissed off how people treat animals. And our cat's trying to get at our hamster.
Do you tell him we got a hamster?
We got a hamster, everyone. Yep. Hand me the hamster. But it's a bit of a predator-prey here. We got to ref him, make sure that there's no harm being done. Because we love all the animal friends, hamsters, big and small, all the way to big blue whales. We love them all.
When I first met John Paul, I was so scared because I had 2 guinea pigs. I thought he would say, "Oh, you have 2 guinea pigs?" But he was so sweet. He went, "Oh, that's cool." So all you men out there, it's cool to love animals, all right? It's not sexy or cool to kill them and be mean to them. Real men, they love animals, all animals. Protect animals, the women, the children. And real men speak up about injustice, immorality with all creatures.
Yeah.
John Paul is a real man, and I'm so, so grateful for you.
Thank you, honey. I love you. That's so kind. I love you. And I love being your man. You've inspired me to be the best I can be. So thank you for going on this journey with me. Yeah, you too, big boy. And Sebastian, man, they all teach us. Our kids teach us so much, folks. Don't think you can only teach your kids and you're better than your kid because you're bigger than them. No, they can teach you a lot, right? How not to be or how to be.
Yeah, the way you act isn't right.
When we go play outside, Angus, and he'll see himself in his reflection in the car, and he goes up and kisses himself and hugs himself. And that kind of self-love is so necessary, and that's the kind we talk about. The little child has no idea that he is separate from that, that little reflection. And
he doesn't judge himself.
No, he's not hard on himself and critiquing. And like you said, as an adult, we judge. We're hard on ourselves. Anyway, the Luv-A-Lution is that being kind and being your best friend, okay, to your inner child. Being that father, mother, brother, sister, mentor to your lower self, right? And you are enough. You're a work in progress. Look how far you've come. Right, all you amazing spirits out there. And holy cow, look how far we've come. We're almost done through another show, another hour. We got another minute. We just want to say we love all you beautiful spirits out there. Keep questioning the answers, the lies.
Bird of the day, woodcock.
Bird of the day. Sure. Woodcock, real quick. It's a woodcock. It's a real cool bird. It evolved from the shore. Was a shore bird. Now it's in the woods.
All right, let's hear it.
I don't know the call.
Right. Wait. Wait. Wait.
All right, American woodcock, everyone. That's the bird of the day. And Luv-A-Lution, all you beautiful spirits out there. Know thyself to love thyself. Free your mind control. Love yourself to health. And pull thy head out of thy rear end. We love you.
Woo! Thanks for tuning in. See you next week. Much love.
Luv-A-Lution. Woo!
Thank you for listening to Revolution.radio.
Are you interested?